Oh my God. Um, I am hoping this works. So, guys, paramdam kayo if nandito na kayo because currently I don't know what's going on with the internet, whether it's an issue on the internet or issue with the laptop. I am having troubles. I think ang issue dito is I am not, hindi ko gamay itong laptop na na tawag nito. Hindi ko gamay itong laptop na na kung paano mag-live stream on this part. Ayan, thank you Ace. Do let me know at what point ako bigla nawala doon sa conversation natin on the live kasi I am trying to look up the point ng ano natin saan tayo naputol. I think I was talking something about the top 12. Tama ba? I think yes. So going back to the issue ng voting. The voting for this year, as I've said, is going to be selecting 3 girls from 3 areas or 3 groups. One is for Asia and Oceania. So that will be the traditionally Asian na mga countries with in, the inclusion of perhaps Guam, Hawaii, and Australia and New Zealand. And then we also have Asia, Africa and Europe combined together in one group, and then the Americas, North and South America, and probably even the Caribbean for the third group. With that being said, very competitive. Asahan natin na magiging very competitive itong Miss International na competition this year. As we all know, if you are going to only select a top 12 plus 3 from votes, that is a very narrow window for girls na makapasok. And with that being said, I think that we really need to support our girl, Hannah Arnold, in her competition later on by downloading and voting for her on the Choice the app. I'm not sure, again, as I said earlier, na kung paid voting ito or this is going to be free votes, but in whatever capacity that we can help her out, then I think we owe it to her to support her because tinatrabaho naman niya. I think that with the addition as well of with the added requirement that all the girls, these international competitors, to have a project with regards to United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. I think that adds another added layer doon sa competition. Now, I think one of the last na mga comments I've read in your in the chat box was kung tuloy ba ang Miss International this year. As far as I know, there is no update yet kung magkakaroon ng delay or postponement again. But in my opinion, in my hopes that sana hindi na magkaroon ng issue on the postponement because Miss International really needs to have their competition done now. Actually, they should have done it last year, and sheer stubbornness lang siguro na hindi nila naitawid next year, last year pala, yung competition. But if they're going to postpone their competition for another year, malaking issue yon kasi una sa lahat, all of the other alpha pageants, ginawa ng paraan na magkaroon sila ng edition last year, whether it's through virtual competition or whether it's through actual na competition live. So, Miss International, kung hindi sila magiging maingat at mag-postpone na naman sila ulit ng tawag ito ng pageant nila, then mas maraming mawawala sa kanila in terms of what do you call this? Mas maraming mawawala sa kanila in terms of their in terms of their brand strength, in terms of fan following. Kasi ang iisipin ng mga tao is that this is a pageant that is very inconsistent, na hindi mo alam kung is it um, kung nag-adjust ba sila sa changing times o talagang kept sa kanila kung magkaroon sila ng edition o hindi. And I think that's one of the dangers that happens kung masyado mo nang pinospone yung yung pageant mo because there is a real danger na makalimutan ka ng pageant fans. And if they keep on postponing, baka later on pagbalik nila wala nang interest ang mga fans sa kanila. And uh, they are also very, how do you say this, very strict on yung age requirement. They are very strict on yung tawag nito, yung hindi dapat lalampas sa ganitong edad yung gusto nilang winner. And kung ganun sila kahigpit, then sana hindi sila nagpo-postpone ng pageant. Kasi hindi naman dahil nag-postpone sila ng pageant, hindi tumatanda yung mga candidates nila, di ba? So they really do not have the luxury of postponing again their pageant this year. Kung they are already in the process of selling tickets, ayaw mo naman na mag-refund sila ng mga tickets na pina pina yung nabenta nila. And if in case na mag-postpone sila, isipin mo yung mga bumili ng tickets from out of the country, from out of Japan, na pupunta doon para lang manood, mag-cover ng pageants. Imagine mo yung issue nila on having to cancel their bookings, having to cancel their flights. So malaking perwisyo yun sa mga manonood. And if that happens, it will really be a negative thing for the Miss International pageant because alam niyo naman, matampuhin ang mga tao, especially when it comes to finances. Na perwisyo mo yung mga finances nila. Ayan, again, apologies kung dun sa nangyari doon sa issue natin with the streaming earlier na naputol tayo. I don't know what happened. Maybe it's the internet that's acting up. But I hope that you would like and share our live stream tonight because marami tayong mapag-uusapan as I said earlier. So after Miss International, we will also be talking about Hannah send-off kasi si Hannah magkakaroon ng sariling send-off and unlike yung send-off ni Herlene Budol earlier this November, yung send-off ni Hannah would be Binibining Pilipinas na mag-aareglo. Kasi yung kay Herlene, if I'm not mistaken, it was arranged by Sir Will, her manager, as well as may involvement din ang JAG and ang Araneta City. So and BPCI. So I am not very sure kung which one has a bigger stake on the send off ni Hannah, but I sorry, ni Herlene. But for sure, with the send of Hannah, it will be going to be on the ballroom of Novotel Hotel. Kasi yung kay Herlene, it was in one of the function rooms that doon ginanap yung send-off ni Herlene. For sure, itong kay Hannah, it will be going to be a larger audience, larger na ballroom kaganapin because she is their main winner for the 2021 Pilipinas pageant. And based on what Sir Hines told the press, during the send-off of Gabby, Rohan, and Chelsea, is that they will extend the same courtesy, same support to Hannah as if she is a member of the current competing na reigning na mga queens. So ibig sabihin, full blast for sure ang Binibining Pilipinas and Araneta City sa send-off ni Hannah later on this. If I'm not mistaken, it's probably around the mid of November, around 14 or the 15th. So I'm just waiting for confirmation on the actual date kung saan, kailan, at anong oras yung kanyang send-off. Okay, so let's go to some comments before we jump to the continuation of our. 'Pageant updates. Uh, 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 Pageant updates. There, Mark Gonzalez, welcome back, Sir Jason. Let's continue raising the discursive pageantry. Hi, Mark. I'm trying. I cannot always, I cannot always promise that, but I will do try. Um, Roscoe, hi, Sir Jason. Did I miss much? Not much with the second part of the live stream because yung first part naputol somewhere in the middle, around the 20th, 20-minute mark. So I am hoping hindi kayo na turn off because of that. I'm sorry. Ganun talaga ang internet dito sa Pilipinas, Roscoe. I am not very hopeful with our situation here in terms of infrastructure anymore. So on my end, we make do with what is left of us. Ayan. Um, there. Dustin Peralonia, hello. Hearts. Hello, good evening. I hope you're enjoying yung live stream natin today. And I hope na, ma-engganyo ka to subscribe in our channel. Ayan, thank you nga pala for the continued support, for the continued, loving this channel because malapit tayo mag 4,000 subscribers. We are currently, I think, at around 3,987 or 89. So thank you for the support. I'm really very grateful and happy for the growing na community dito sa YouTube. Ayan. Bandy. Bandy, good. Sir Jason, what do you think are Hannah Arnold's chances in Miss International this year? I am actually very hopeful with Hannah that she would easily crack top five. My worry here is that ang mga kalaban niya matitindi din. And I am looking at, currently I haven't seen all of the candidates. I'm currently looking at Tati Calmel ng I think it's Peru, na pwedeng isa sa mga magiging tough competitors ni Hannah for the Miss International na, na title. Simply because pag tinignan ko si Tati, parang nai-imagine ko sa kanya yung mga European na mga winners in the 80s, 90s na, na super fresh, super unassuming yung ganda, na hindi masyado matapang yung arrive, na very sweet yung demeanor. So I am hoping na yung personality ni Hannah would be something that the Miss International would love because Hannah has a very calm, composed and sometimes na pwedeng maka help boost sa kanyang chances of winning Miss International. I think it's important that Hannah be very mindful of yung mga Japanese na mga kaugalian na kinakailangan niyang tignan, the manner of presenting herself in the public in terms of how the Japanese really have a very traditional way of defining beauty and good manners. I think importante yon yung hindi ka na-relate, yung you talk people in the eye, that you are honest and sincere when you talk to people, and that you are very genuine, when you present yourself. And kasi parang hindi na magwo-work yung put on na attitude eh. Hindi na pwedeng mag-rely doon sa performance lang, but you have to be hindi naman inclusive eh, but you have to be holistic in terms of your attack and presentation for the title. And I think yung kinakailangan na master ni Hannah, yung simple gestures, mannerisms that would relay yung pagiging thoughtful, pagiging considerate, pagiging calm and composed. Kasi I remembered there's this article that I reposted on. I think it's an Inquirer article that I reposted on my blog about Vero Santiago, mentioning about winning without trying too hard. I think yun yung kinakailangan na ma-manage ni Hannah for the competition. Yung hindi siya masyadong kikil, but she's still competitive. She's still mindful that she's in the competition. but at the same time, give her best. I think Hannah really has a good shot at winning Miss International. I am a firm believer na kapag pag pag yung kalidad na ng pinapadala natin sa Miss International, like Hannah na has degree that would back her up, especially with with the new requirement na kinakailangan meron kang uh, project that is related to the UN Sustainable Goals na bagong ni-require ng pageant. And you have Hannah, who is an forensic scientist na kumbaga may educational background to be authoritative on on her project on that front. We can we can squeeze in a win with Hannah. Ayan. Simply Lurker, good evening, Sir Jason. Is Miss Cosmo World a new franchise under BBCI? No, I don't think so. I haven't heard any murmurs about that. I think that yung pagpunta ni Meiji sa offices ng Binibining Pilipinas with the Cosmo World Sash is just a courtesy call, being last year's runner-up of the pageant. So I am not I am not saying it's not, but I am not saying it is. Simply because I don't have the facts yet, and knowing Binibining Pilipinas, they are very very tight-lipped with this manner. But siguro sa send-off ni Hannah, I will be asking that question with the powers that be of BBCI to ask if there are new grounds for Binibining Pilipinas next year and how many. So, yun ang may ipapangako ko. Pero as of this moment, I cannot say if Cosmo World is indeed part of Binibining Pilipinas because wala akong naririnig kahit sa mga simple chismisan ng mga pageant media with regards to new franchises. Hindi ko siya naririnig in terms of new crowns. But I will be talking about Meiji's participation with Cosmo World kasi very promising itong pageant na ito because ang laki ng prize. Ang laki ng cash prize. Ayan. Nasa na tayo? We have Catherine Valois. Hello. Will there be a separate MGI, PH, Supra PH, and Miss World PH pageants next year po? Okay. Catherine, I cannot say for sure kung kailan, paano, magkakaroon ba. But from what I've heard with regards to insider rumors is that isasabay ng Miss Grand Philippines yung launch ng kanilang pageant with the national pageants next year with the MUP, MPE, and Binibining Pilipinas at around first quarter, second quarter of the year. So what I've heard so far is that Miss Grand International will be having its finals at around March of 2023. I've heard that Miss Supranational is going to have its finals sometime around June or July. I am not sure kung this is feasible kasi kung ang pageant ng Mr. and Miss Supranational is on August, then kailangan medyo mas maaga-aga silang mag casting call. I think casting call lang pinaka best bet nila or kung gusto nilang magkaroon ng mga candidates, umpisahan nilang na maaga yung kanilang application period because from what I've heard, heavyweights daw ang isasapak sa Binibining Pilipinas this year, next year. I am not sure. I cannot, I cannot for certain if gaano kabigat, but I've heard that there will be crossovers from other national pageants going to Binibining. Hindi ko kilala kung sino yung mga girls na to, but I have two girls in mind na pwedeng tumawid. That is so far what I know. Okay. Although I've heard na may chismis going around that Yana Duana is probably gonna join Miss Supranational Philippines next year. I don't know if that's true. I'm hoping na in the next few weeks or few months magkaroon tayo ng kaliwanagan ng that. Okay. Gosh, ang dami niyo ng mga questions. Isa-isahin natin, okay? Hinakalapan. Madadal pa man din akong magsalita when it comes to these. Dorothy, being a sabi ni Dorothy Lee Jones, being a scientist, I'm really hoping Hannah has the ability to focus on her pageant, just as focused as Kylie was in 2016. Agree. And I am hoping na dalhin ni Hannah yung kanyang pagiging forensic scientist, forensic science graduate into the conversation as she progresses in the competition kasi I'm sure ang dami na niyang mga activities, public activities in the past year that builds up her pageant resume na pwede niyang ibida pagdating sa international competition. If you look at yung mga activities ni Hannah, all of those are really tied into her background and napakagandang tignan kasi yung kanyang background plus yung kanyang pageant parang nagtutugma yung parang may symbiotic harmony doon sa requirements ng pageant with what she's doing on her on her personal side. So I am hoping and really am rooting for Hannah na maibalik niya tayo doon sa uh, runner-up or winner na crown because right now the Philippines and Venezuela essentially they are the alpha dominant alpha na mga countries in Miss International. Walo na ang corona ng Venezuela. And with Isabel Para that I don't think na na siya yung molde na hinahanap sa Miss International. Although I can be wrong, ha? I think na mas malakas ang laban ni Hannah compared to Isabel. Although again, hindi natin alam kung paano gugulong ang bola. So I am really hoping na on the fan na side, on the fan voting na side, we also extend the help for Hannah. Okay, then we have another question. Simply Lurker, Sir Jason, what happened to Pias ng Pilipinas? Promising pa naman ito. Oh, okay, ayokong magsalita ng hindi ko nakukuha yung lahat ng panig. But what I have heard, and these are chismis ha, hindi ito yung tipong chismis na mapanghahawakan ko yung yung source na credible. But what I've heard is there are issues yata on the uh, on the franchises na hindi ko alam kung na-plancha ba, hindi na-plancha, natuloy o hindi. Kaya wala akong naririnig about Hiyas ng Pilipinas as of late. So I am hoping that with Eva Patalinghook at the head of the organization, whatever issue na meron behind the scenes, ma-iron out because Hiyas ng Pilipinas pa naman has, promise, kumbaga may potential. Ayan. Bandy okay, says, my only worry with Hannah is that Miss International never crowned a girl on the older side. Hannah is currently 26, but that is not her fault as the pandemic pushed MI to cancel their show. Yun na nga ang sinasabi ko about Miss International. They cannot afford another cancellation as what you've pointed out na may rumors nga on Facebook na nangyayari nga na may supposed cancellation ng pageant. If that's the case, na mag-cancel na naman sila this year, it's going to affect their brand very, very badly. Especially na nag-reveal na sila ng corona, naglabas na sila ng mga ticket sales sa mga social media ng mga platforms nila. So, parang ano pang hinihintay ninyo? You're waiting and yet you're not seeming really open to do other avenues para matuloy siya. Kasi isipin mo, yes, ang Miss World essentially nag-skip ng 1 year. Ang Miss Earth nag-virtual. Ang Miss Universe nag-hold ng pageant 2 times in 2020 because of the pandemic. So if other pageants nagawa ng paraan na itawid and they had to essentially be flexible for that. Miss International being so being so rigid with their traditions and with their ways, really need to embrace other means para lang may itawid itong pageant na ito this year. Kasi ultimately, kung hindi nila maitawid, then it will be affecting their brand negatively. Magiging kasiraan nila yon. Okay? So I'm hoping na walang postponement na mangyari ulit. Now let's go to Catherine Valois. Sabi niya, sir, your thoughts about Miss Earth 2022. To be honest, I haven't, I haven't followed Miss Earth for quite some time now. I haven't really been a fan of the virtual na competitions ng Miss Earth. But what I do appreciate and love about Miss Earth is that their queens are never questionable. Um, Especially in the last 3 years, I think that they crown really great winners, winners that can really, increase yung brand worth ng pageant. So I am hoping that again this year they would select someone who is, you know, not just good on the technical aspect kasi alam niyo naman ang Miss Earth, pagdating doon sa glossy na part ng pageant, medyo kulang-kulang sila. So if ever na magkaroon ng live na competition, sana they would put a heavy emphasis on intelligence, as they have did in the past na they would this time around select a queen who is not only knowledgeable about the current issues, but alam niya yung mga terminologies ng ano ng sustainable practices. And I think right at this moment, I am looking at Australia. I am looking at what do you call this? I'm looking at Australia. I'm looking at Korea. As one of the girls na pwedeng manalo. I am not yet fully invested with other competitors, but knowing how the Miss Earth pageant needs to crown girls that when they talk, they know their stuff. I want someone like that. I want someone who is like Lindsay Coffey na kapag tinanong mo siya about earth and environment issues, meron siyang may isasagot. I want someone na pag tinanong mo about greenwashing, kaya niyang i-define yung term na yon, i-explain kung bakit nangyayari at magbigay ng mga possible solutions on how do we solve that. I also want a girl na kapag tinanong mo about circular economy, which is something that is relevant in the conversation of um, eco activities, ecocentric na mga activities, meron siyang may isasagot. I want someone na kapag tinanong mo about circular zero waste na mga processes, pag tinanong mo about how is GMO affecting pollution, how is fertilizers and pesticides contributing to soil getting degraded and getting worse in terms of being able to retain nutrients for plants in the future. Kailangan meron siyang alam on that aspect. Yun yung gusto kong sana mangyari sa Miss Earth. Ayan. So where are we? Simply Lurker. Hello. Ashton. Hello. Emmanuel. See you. Hello there. Sige, let's speed up yung mga natin, mga comments natin kasi medyo nag-aano na natatabakan na ako. Dustin Perolonia, hello po. Ang lakas din makakalaban sa MI. Hopefully, Hannah will win. Agree. Ang dami magaganda sa Miss International this year. Again, as I've said, I'm looking at Tactical Mel ng Peru. I am, siya yung isa sa mga girls na parang pag tinignan ko, parang, oh my God, she looks very much like the mold of a Miss International na na waiter na very Barbie yung itsura, very very tawag ito, very fresh and young, ganyan. Tapos I also remember, Corinne Stalaki sa former Miss Earth Fire na magko-compete sa Miss International this year. So, meron siyang pedigree na pwedeng ilabas na ipanlaban pagdating sa Miss International. Ayan, ayun na nga, Dustin, na nabanggit ko na kasi yung dalawang mga girls na natingin ko sa ngayon isa sa mga mahigpit na nakakalaban ni Hannah. Ayan, Bandy Good, what's your impression about Sheridan Mortlock, Miss Earth Australia 2022? With her, I think na isa sa mga kinakailangan niyang ayusin is on the technical aspect of the presentation. I think because she was only crowned, less than 2 months ago or a month or two ago, roughly. Baka yung presentation aspect ang isa sa mga magiging weakness niya. I haven't seen her pasarela yet, but in terms of talent, marunong siyang kumanta, marunong siyang mag-gitara, marunong siyang mag-piano. In terms of intelligence, she ticks off every difficult questions na binato sa kanya ng pageant media during her press conference. I am impressed with the way that she is very intelligent, very in the know of social na mga issues. Tinanong ko siya about greenwashing, and she was able to explain that to pageant media. And that kind of terminology is not very popular here in the Philippines. It is something that I teach my students in school, and how it is impacting the environment, because I have a class that teaches the environmental aspect of fashion, and of course sustainability and greenwashing is one of those topics na kasama doon sa dinidiscuss ko. The mere fact that she can answer a question regarding circular economy, how governments around the world are doing their are starting to do their jobs with steps that includes not just recycling of resources, but also making sure that these resources don't deplete out. At nasagot niya yon. I am really really very impressed. So right now I am looking at her. I'm looking at Korea. I can't remember Korea's name. I'm also looking at Barbara of Colombia. Simply because Barbara, face wise, beauty wise, wala kang maipinta sa kanya. However, again, if I am going to weigh in between beauty and intelligence, I lang na kapag you're back in the live stream, it does not necessarily tell you. Unlike pag sa phone na you can immediately see the notification. So, anyway, I am hoping, okay, I'm just gonna jump in with the question dito about, Miss, about this Earth Australia. As I said, I've met Miss Australia, and I'm impressed with her, not just with her resume, but impressed with her ambition that she plans in the next 10 years to become Prime Minister of Australia, and put light or put emphasis on Australia needing to have more eco-sustainable na mga activities, na mga laws in place. So yung read ko on that, yun yung tingin ko isa sa mga dahilan kung bakit Australia is someone that we cannot ignore in the competition. Dustin Peralonia, okay. Malakas nga si Korea. I agree. I agree. It's good that bet mo din siya. And I am not sure with Jenny Rank kung anong nangyayari, kung bakit hindi siya gaano na-mention sa hot picks. I think Jenny, is a smart, pretty girl. It's just that hindi lang siguro siya kasing lakas ng may ibang malalakas na mga candidates. I don't think na mahina siyang candidate. I think that it's just that there are girls na mas na-appreciate ng mga fans ngayon more than her. However, I give props to her national costumes, her kalabaw na costume kasi super ganda nung execution, ng idea, at saka pulido yung pagkakagawa, pulido yung presentation niya. So I am very impressed with her kalabaw na national costume. Ayan. And for the longest time, we haven't seen something like that represented in the international stage. So I am glad that she went out of the box to really create something that is really, really rooted doon sa ano natin dito sa Pilipinas, sa kultura natin sa Pilipinas. Um, Dustin agree. Yana, may pagkabutya daw siya. And there are even, instances na kapag biglang tingin, akala mo may hawig siya kay Eva Catalina. Okay, Emmanuel CEO, what do you think is the future of Binibining Pilipinas, ang future ng pageantry ng Pilipinas? Dahil madami ng standalone na pageants. This is a great question. Um, the, reason, the reason why I think that this is going to be a good thing for Binibining Pilipinas, because Binibining Pilipinas having competition forces them to innovate, forces them to go and find and bring something new into the table. Nung nawala sa pansin nyo, nung nawala sa kanila ang Miss Universe Philippines, essentially when Binibining Pilipinas Universe is no longer part of their franchises, biglang bumulusok pataas yung production, yung um, yung ano ba this, yung mga glam shots, yung entertainment, yung 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 glam factor ng pageant. And I think that's a great thing because it shows that hindi sila affected by the departure of the Miss Universe na franchise. And in fact, if you are going to look at Miss Universe Philippines versus Binibining Pilipinas and compare them side to side, malayo yung brand equity ng Binibining Pilipinas, not just because they've established it longer, but rather they are relying on their own brand name as compared to Miss Universe Philippines, na kapag wala yung Miss Universe na branding in their title, in their pageant, hindi sila ganun katunog. And looking at how Binibining Pilipinas executes their competition, their pageant, it offers opportunities from girls from all walks of life in terms of ability to win. Hindi yung tipong, kinakailangan affiliated ka sa ganitong camp, which is also affiliated to ganitong camp, which is also a offshoot of another camp in order to win. With Binibining Pilipinas, wala silang pake kung anong camp ka galing. Kung nag-perform ka, kung magaling ka, kung maganda ka, mananalo ka. And I think that's one of the reasons why more and more ladies are flocking into Binibining Pilipinas as compared to Miss Universe Philippines na I thought na mahahati yung mga girls na magjo-join sa MUP versus BUP. Kita naman natin with this year's edition, mas maraming magaganda, mas maraming crown-worthy dito sa batch na ito. To the point that even yung mga candidates in 2021 and the candidates in here right now, this year in 2022, when they are being sent outside of, outside of the country to represent the Philippines, nananalo sila. And we've seen that with Shane Tormes winning Miss Global this year. We've seen that with Alexandra May Rosales, who won Supermodel Worldwide. And we've seen that with Miss Fora International 2021, si Faith Garcia, na it speaks highly of them that the mere fact that they are only mga candidates lang sa Binibining Pilipinas, kaya nilang mag-uwi ng international na corona. It tells you of the quality of Binibining Pilipinas ng mga girls. How will it now play if meron tayong Miss Grand, meron tayong Miss Supranational Philippines na separate na entities? Let these new pageants prove their merit. We cannot really say anything na na would be detrimental or with good praises for these new pageants hangga't hindi sila nakakapag 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 uh, nakaka-hold up ng competition hangga't hindi sila di natin nakikita yung kanilang pageant. And my worry about this is that may sasali, definitely. Pero ano yung kalidad ng mga sasali sa mga pageant na to? Yun ako natatakot. Kasi if you're going to have a standalone na pageant for the Supra, tapos hindi naman ganun kataas ang kalidad ng mga sumasali, saan tayo pupulutin sa kampungan, di ba? So we really need to figure out ano yung issue na yan. Kasi right now, from how I see it, from how I read it, parang the best the national costume still that is still where girls flock is Binibining Pilipinas. And even if na magkaroon ng standalone ng mga pageants itong Supra na ito, if Binibining Pilipinas is going to acquire more international franchises next year, then that's more incentive for other girls na sumali ng Binibining Pilipinas. So I like the competition. I like the fact that there are a lot of mga pageants na magsusulputan kasi matira matibay. Ang ending nito is sino sa kanila ang tutumba. Yun ang tanong. Yun. So, Ashden, hi, good afternoon. Bakit pa-delay na naman ang Miss International? Ano po ba ang magiging effect nito sa candidate natin? Pasok pa rin ba ang age ni Hannah? Ashden, again, I'm sorry because I am not aware of the rumors about Miss International being postponed. Ngayon ko lang siya narinig. So, I am looking at it with how to call this? I am looking at it with a grain of salt. Kasi kung fake news lang naman to, parang hindi ko bibigyan na here we go again. Okay. Are we back on? So let me just wait while it's reconnecting, okay? So let me just wait while it's reconnecting, okay? I have no idea what's going on with the internet. Why? Okay, there. It's back. It's live. Whew, there. I have, again, as I said, I have no idea if Miss International is postponed. Kung ano yung mga tawag ito, mga chismis with regards that. So let's see. Kasi the things that I am looking at right now with regards to yung postponement na to, parang hindi siya totoo. Parang fake news siya. So let's wait muna a day or two when we get more updates with regards to this. But again, if nag-unveil na sila ng new crown, nag-unveil na sila ng ticket sales, I'm sure that mas matutuloy siya kaysa magpo-postpone. Dustin Perellonia saying, super Diyos na talaga si Edimar Martinez. Very sweet but regal. Parang dalawa lang hinahanap ng international, barbihan, or regal. Simply Lurker says, ang ALV pageant circle, napakaraming crown hawak, tapos may possible 2 or 3 standalone na pageants yan. Sana mag-focus na lang sa Miss World Philippines. I am not sure kung magkakaroon sila ng Miss World Philippines next year kasi from what I've heard is that Karolina Bielowska, the reigning Miss World from Poland, is going to reign for a full year, and that she is essentially the Miss World for 2021 until 2022, and yung magiging pageant allegedly for next year ng Miss World is going to be, for the 2023 na edition. So, since si Gwen Furniol yung ipapadala natin for that edition, baka mag-skip sila ng Miss World Philippines next year. Gwen Furniol yung ipapadala natin for that edition, baka mag-skip sila ng Miss World Philippines next year. I am not sure if that's going to happen. I am not sure if that is something that is going to happen. But that is my speculation at this point in time. Again, this is speculation on my part. So, again, wait and see na naman tayo dito sa aspect na to. Godwin Fiel, hello. Pa-attendance, yes, hello. Good evening kung nasaan ka man ngayon. I'm hoping na malakas ang internet mo kasi on my end, unstable siya. Yun. And ayan. There again. But we're back. Kakalokang internet. Okay, anyway. Dustin Perlonia, sa lahat ng Grand Slam pageant, ang ganda talaga ng crown ng Miss World. Parang iconic, walang kaparehas talaga since matagal nito, since 1970s. And may connection kay Queen Elizabeth. I think that's fake news yung may connection siya kay Queen Elizabeth. I've read, a fan expouting na it was gifted daw by Queen Elizabeth for the Miss World organization. That's not true. I've searched if this is something that is real, and apparently it's not. So hindi po totoo na regalo ni Queen Elizabeth ang corona na yan sa Miss World pageant. Okay. There. Where were we? Okay, Jeffy, if MI don't crown Hannah, masaya ako if a woman of color ang manalo. To be honest, super mega long overdue na yun eh. Need na mag-evolve ng MI. I agree. They really need to start crowning women of color, especially black women, mga women na of the African of heritage. Wala pa silang kinoronahan na from Africa na woman of color, so maybe this is their year. Mark Alanyabot was not a fan of Hannah, but she grew on me. I'm rooting for her. Hannah, they say, was a favorite of the org during last year's pageant, so I'm hoping that they would treat her well in the competition. Roscoe, hello Roscoe. How are you? How's the weather there in Guam? Hi Jason. What should we expect from the upcoming Miss Universe party in Bangkok? Who are the confirmed past winners that will attend? Okay, let's talk about the Miss Universe extravaganza that's happening tomorrow in Bangkok, in Thailand. Confirmed na si Leila, si Hannah, si Andrea, and Kat. Kat is going. Yes, I can finally say. For the longest time, may nagsabi sa akin na they're still waiting, ganyan, for the invitation to come. Pero I just got the word now, or just today, just this evening, na on the way na nga daw si Kat to Thailand. I am hoping that this is going to be a great news for everyone kasi Hannah is a product, Kat, sorry. Hannah. Kat is a product of the Miss Universe held in Thailand, and I think they are going to invite mga past Miss Universe winners na may connection with Thailand. I'm hoping that they are going to ask Natalie Glebova to join them in the event. I am hoping that mas marami pa sana doon sa mga winners from the 90s or 80s silang ma-invite para naman maramdaman natin na it's not just an embracing of the Miss Universe org from the IMG era, but rather from the Trump era and the era before Donald Trump, when Miss Universe organization was actually Miss Universe Incorporated. Yeah, I hope that they can invite more winners from the past ages. And here's the thing, may mga nag-post na nakita nila na on the way na yung corona ng CAO, yung Vietnamese na crown na gamit ni Diana, yung Mikimoto na Phoenix na crown, yung French fries na crown, yung Diamond Nexus crown going to Thailand. The thing is, once the organization ni Anne Jakra Jutatip purchased the Miss Universe organization, all assets ng MU essentially becomes part of the JKN Global na company. Therefore, yung mga crowns na to kasama dun sa assets na mapupunta sa kanila. And I am my interpretation of these crowns and sashes going to Thailand means that these crowns and sashes will officially be part of the own assets ng JKN Global. So, it makes sense na ganon. So, but then again, I'm very excited na Kat is on the way na nga daw to Thailand for the event. So, yon. Okay, nasaan na ba tayo? Wait, naligaw na ako. I think we just finished with Roscoe. Okay, tama, with Roscoe. Si Bandy, medyo mahaba yung kanyang mga messages. Sir Jason, may updates pa kayo sa natcos ni Herlene na nasira daw sa Uganda? Diba? No, I don't have any updates as of the moment. Naghihintay ako kung may post later on si Sir Will or si Herlene with regards to that. Iba talaga ang nasa BBP ka, lahat quality girls. If lahat mag-stand alone, parang kung sino-sino lang pwedeng mag-join, parang 2 or isa lang yung quality. If BBP ka galing, maganda yung experience. Exactly. And I think the thing about Binibining Pilipinas kasi is that kahit na hindi visible si Madam, active pa rin siya in the organization in the sense that she gets updates on what's happening, what's going on in the pageant. So kahit hindi siya very hands-on, alam niya yung nangyayari because I have been told that any media na mga posting, whether it's even so on social media, nakakarating at pinaparating sa kanya. So this means na active pa rin si Madam, albeit a little bit on the backseat. Yan, Bandy. I'm excited sa new crown for Binibining Pilipinas. Sana matuloy. Okay, so let me siguro reveal na. Kasi even back in 2021 or 2020, nakakausap ko si Mama Doms Ramos. Doms Ramos of BR Swim used to provide the swimsuits for Binibining Pilipinas up until this year. The conversation with him that I had way before, I think around a year ago, was that I was telling him na sana magkaroon ng bagong crown, ganyan, magkaroon ng sponsorship, and I think that among the designers na magandang magkaroon ng partnership with Binibining Pilipinas would be Manny Halasan. That just came out of nowhere from my end because I was telling him the things that I think would be beneficial for Binibining Pilipinas. What are the things na pageant fans would like to see? What are the things that from my end I would like to see? And nabanggit niya that there is a move where they want to have new crowns, but not during the pandemic. That it is, according to insiders, na it would be ill-advised to have new crowns during the time where everybody is, nag nag bumabaluktot ng sa kumot para lang magkasya. So that would have been insensitive on the org if nag-launch sila ng mga bagong crowns where hindi akma sa pagkakataon na kinakailangan mamuluktot magsikip ng belt in order to to survive. And I think this year is the right timing, or next year is the right timing, because international organizations nowadays are opening up their pageants to the world, and at the same time opening up changes in their pageants. And isa sa mga changes na yon is changes sa LGBT roles and changes sa mga corona. And I think that is something na kinakailangan ng i-jump into the bandwagon ng Binibining Pilipinas, because they really need to start being more aggressive when it comes to branding their pageant. Okay. Okay, ayun. Sabi ni Dustin, Bandy, okay na yung costume niya. May bago na dumating. Check mo post ni Herlene. Dumating na yung bago. Okay. Super okay talaga if may manager ka like Sir Will na full support talaga. Hopefully lahat ng handler ganon. Ayan. Coach Erickson. Hello, Coach. How are you? Kumusta? Sabi ni Coach, present sir, good luck to Hannah and Arnold for Miss International and Curly Nicole Pudol for Miss Planet International. I like them both, and ang level na ganyan ni Hannah, pang jojokain. Herlene tot propahin. Okay. Dorothy says, hope MU highlights the achievement of their own queens who are now leaders in their own fields. Agree. I am hoping na sana if they are going that route, Dorothy, they would also invite someone like Mpule Kwelagove, who I believe is Meron siyang foundation with regards to HIV/AIDS in Africa. And well, if it's William, na super naging ambassador, spokesperson ng United Nations for HIV and AIDS. Okay. Nasaan na ba tayo? Jeffy, si Shaila na ba ang rep ng multinational 2023? Sayang kung di nakapag-compete si Isabella. Do you think Sir Jahan in the future Araneta ay kumawak na ng male pageant? No idea. I have no idea with that. Hindi ko pa wala ang utak ko ngayon sa mga queens ng Miss World Philippines. I am a little bit more focused on the upcoming Great Man of the Universe na Philippines na competition that's happening on the 13th of this month, and doon sa darating na not press con but send off ni Hannah later, I think mid of November. So saka ko natitignan yung multinational, because parang wala namang nangyari sa Miss Multinational for the past 2-3 years eh. So I don't know kung tuloy pa ba, buhay pa ba yung org. Yun. Okay, let me just stop one of the comments because I wanted to say something about Meiji Cruz. Meiji is competing in Miss Cosmo World in Malaysia, which will be held at the Ritz-Carlton in Kuala Lumpur on November 15. It will be at around 7 p.m. Malaysia time, and ang laki ng cash prize. Base doon sa posting lang on their social media, ang cash prize is around $100,000 US dollars, and yung prizes na non-cash, na hindi cash, is around the same amount. So in total, yung mapapanalunan ng winner will be around $200,000 US dollars as a whole. Kaya I am so happy for Meiji, because if she wins, parang limpak-limpak na salapi ang mapapalanulan niya, and she would be deserving to do so. Kasi if you look at batch 2021, lahat sila nakapag-compete na. First runner-up, Gadi Basiano, is Binibining Pilipinas Intercontinental this year, and competed in Miss Intercontinental in Egypt earlier this year. And then doon sa kay Meiji, it's good na wala na siya sa Binibining Pilipinas nung nakahanap sila na nakahanap ang kanyang team ng competition for her, because mas maluwag siyang makakagalaw ngayon. I think very special yung case lang kasi ni Perlin na inilakad talaga ni Sir Will na makapag-compete si Herlin, at talagang nakiusap sila with the guidance of BPCI na payagan si Herlin na mag-compete. And with Meiji, I am really really very happy for her because she deserves to have an international na competition. I think that among the queens ng 2021, Meiji is still the best, overall pasarela performer on stage sa batch nila, and I am really really hoping na ipanalo niya ito kasi sayang yung $200,000 kung mapanalo niya yon. Now, let's now talk about two topics na medyo controversial, na I think na kinakailangan natin mataplisan man lang dito sa live na ito because hindi ko pa ito na-discuss sa mga previews ng mga live sessions natin. First things first is yung pagtanggap ni Roanne doon sa fifth runner-up na appointment sa kanya ng Miss Grand Philippines. Now, ano yung basa ko doon sa situation na yon? First things first, I think that is a tactical move from MGI na bigyan ng corona what do you call this, si Roanne because it would serve them well na medyo may bumalik na konting amor sa pageant nila after a very nonchalant and very cold na treatment ng Filipino fans with regards to their pageant. Alam nila na nalagasan sila ng malaking following on Instagram after mag-mass unfollow ng mga Vietnamese sa kanila. So ngayon, tingin ko ang MGI to please yung bagong org na MGI Philippines and to please yung mga fans na sawa na sa pageant nila, they come crawling back to appease the Filipino audiences. On the other hand, was it right for Rowan to accept it? I'm not sure it's the right move, but I understand her accepting it because alam naman natin na alaga siya ng ALV when she was Miss Equity International, and it was probably a goodwill move na tinanggap niya yon in order for her to be accepted ng ALV na organization after niyang nag-move to Binibining Pilipinas, and it would again parang bridging yung mga organizations na ito in order to have goodwill. On the part of Rowan, I think that was a tactical move on her as well kasi magagamit niya pa rin itong mga connections na ito later on kapag nag-crossover siya sa Miss Universe Philippines because alam naman natin, it's an open secret, it's a secret na alam na hush-hush na ultimately Rowan is going to go for bigger pageants aside from after being done with MGI. Once na natapos niya yung training ground niya sa MGI, I'm sure lilipat yan ng Miss Universe Philippines, and this is something na siguro kinakailangan niyang gawin to build yung following niya internationally. And I understand that. It just leaves a bad taste. Medyo hindi lang magandang optics kasi nagmumukha tuloy na parang opportunistic yung pag-accept ni Roan ng appointment from a perspective na ang dami niyang nilayasan na camp, na pageant organizations, and etc. And this looks in bad optics because of yung relationship niya with Binibining Pilipinas, that she's still a Binibining Pilipinas na winner, and parang nagkaroon tuloy ng saan ang loyalty mo, girl. So yun lang. However, I understand where she's coming from, that she probably wants to, appease, everybody in the equation. And you cannot please everyone. So yun lang. Now, let's talk about yung Mr. International issue, because gusto ko matuldukan itong issue na ito ngayong gabi. There are two people who are saying that they have the ownership of the Mr. International organization after Alan Sim passed. A lot of winners, a lot of people, who knows Alan Sim, is saying na the Thai na owner, the claiming ownership of the Mr. International organization and pageant, Pradinut, should be the one that is going to be recognized as the owner of the Mr. International organization, because that would have been the wish of of Alan Sim as the owner. In as much as I would, I would factor in the nostalgia, or the goodwill that he has established, that the late owner, established with Pradinut, and his partners na Korean and Filipino na si Pawi. I'd like also as well to see if there are legal documents that would give them parang legal claim to the organization. Kasi kung wala silang maipakitang legal na documents at merong maipakita si Attorney Manuel Del Dio na kasulatan, na pirmado, na legal na kasulatan with regards to ownership of the pageant, then kahit na anong gusto ng fans, ng mga people close to Alan Sim at one point, na mapunta sa mga friends niya yung organization, it would be very difficult na humalaban sa dokumento na legal. So yun lang yung sa akin. Ang hirap timplahin. This is not an easy, black and white na issue. There are gray areas that needs to be looked at, and hindi madali na sabihin na, sige, sa kanya to, kay Pradit ito, or kay Attorney Del Dio ito. It's not that easy. Kinakailangan meron kayong maipakita na legal na dokumento. Pirmadong legal na dokumento na ethically na nakuha in order for you to claim ownership of the pageant. Ayun. Okay, let's go to some of your comments. I think we are with Sir, ano ba? Si Dorothy na ba? Or I think it's Dorothy, with Dorothy. Dorothy says, the good thing with Hannah is that she can communicate in intellectual and inspirational spectrums. A discussion of the UN Sustainable Development Goals would be to her advantage. Again, because of her forensic na science, the background, that is a plus point for her. Dustin Peralonia says, super can't sleep na ako sa extravaganza. For sure, alam ito ni Angko. Ha 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 ha. Well, I'm sure gagawa siya ng ingay in order for his pageant ang pag-usapan. Kasi ayaw niyang mapag-iiwanan siya. So, hintayin niyo na lang kung anong gagawin niya. Peter John Toyorada. Sir Jason, is there any possibility na i-acquire ng Binibining ang Miss Philippines Earth? I don't think so. I stopped hoping na makuha nila yung pageant na yan, especially after yung nagkaroon ng debacle sa height issue ng Miss Philippines Earth earlier, na bakit kapag why did you only put into place yung mga height measurement restrictions and measurement nung patapos na yung pageant at hindi nung umpisa. Kasi you should have had your screening, you should have it's the responsibility of the of Carousel Productions na i-check yung mga heights ng mga girls before they were accepted as actual na mga candidates. You do not put the burden on the candidates to prove that they are 5'4" in height without demanding actual proof from them. Kinakailangan, kinakailangan gawin ng organization yung due diligence sa trabaho nila. Problema nila yon, naging issue nila yon, and I'm still not pissed off, but I'm still putting the responsibility on them to do their work. Kasi sa kakatipid nila, siguro ng ng screening ng mga mga gagawin for their national pageant, hindi nila ginawa yung simple na pagme-measure ng mga heights ng mga candidates. And I think, putting or rather eliminating girls based on height towards the end of the competition, kung kailan nakapaglabas na ng maraming pera yung mga girls to compete, it's really, terrible planning and terrible optics of them. Ginawa dapat nila yung measurement of height before sila nag-accept ng actual ng mga official candidates, and that would have been the better, the correct way of doing things. And just because maganda ang set of candidates ng Miss Earth this year, that doesn't mean that na mapapatawad natin kaagad yung lack of glamour, lack of, lack of engagement, lack of interest doon sa pageant nila. Dahil aminado ako, tingin ko ang tamad-tamad nilang ang tamad-tamad nilang pagandahin yung imahe ng pageant nila in terms of the pageant fan na audience, because ang iniisip nila, their advocacy is more than enough para to uplift their brand. But the honest, the honest opinion here is that it's not enough. At the end of the day, you still need to recognize yourself as a beauty pageant. So kung talagang hindi kayo concerned sa entertainment factor sa glam factor ng pageant niyo, bakit pa kayo nagkaroon ng finals? Bakit hindi na lang gawin yung live stream interview yung pag-selection niyo ng Miss Earth? Bakit kinakailangan meron pa kayong swimsuit competition for selecting a spokesperson for the Earth? So, wag tayong maglokohan dito. Miss Earth is still a beauty pageant. Hanggat hindi nyo ina-accept yung realidad na yan, hanggat hindi nyo ina-acknowledge yung reality na kinakailangan nyo ng gloss, mapag-iiwanan kayo. And I think right now, Miss Earth is on the way to become the next Miss Asia Pacific, na naglaho na lang ng parang walang nangyari. And I think that's a super sayang yon sa na-establish na goodwill ng Miss Earth. So, pag-isipan nila. And that is also why I am not very much invested in covering the pageant, kasi it's not entertaining. It's not interesting enough at this point in time, at least for me. Where are we? I think we're Bandy, yung tanong mo about yung power struggle ng dalawang groups ng Mr. International Board, pakitaan tayo ng legal documents. Yun lang. That would be enough para masabi natin kung sino ba talaga yung may-ari ng pageant. Travel Junkie, hello. Hello, Jessan, nakahabol din. This minor pageant, Super and MGI, became well-known because of Binibining. Do you think this standalone pageant can survive? Frankly, I follow BBP and MUPH and now NE. Tignan natin, baka malay mo naman, may mga babaeng bakla na gustong manalong MGI, di ba? Na Pinay. I'm sure naman meron sasali sa Miss Grand Philippines. Ang tanong, gaano ba kataas yung kalidad ng mga sasali? Diba? So, yun lang. Unless katulad siya ni Ivan Gunawan na kayang mag-appoint without having an actual na pageant, then maybe that's the way na it will be handled here in the Philippines. I don't know. Imagine if, sabi ni Dorothy, imagine if past any queens join a production number. Alin, para bukas or para sa finals sa January? Mas maganda siguro na kung pang-finals ng January. Probinsyanong Promdi, hi sir, I'm new here. Pa-shoutout naman from Tarlac. Hello, kumusta? Welcome to the channel. Love Nimrod, hello, kumusta? No, my God, ngayon ka lang ulit kita nakita sa live stream. Ayan. Now lang daw siya nakawatch kasi na-busy lang. Okay. Third Farmer. Next year, with 60th anniversary of Binibining Pilipinas, sana magandang production. Kahit isa na lang ang crown ng Binibini International, tapos i-assign na lang yung minor crowns sa runners-up. That's not a bad idea, but I doubt that will happen. Kasi Binibining Pilipinas, despite yung mga ginawa ng mga minor na pageants na ito sa mga girls natin, still values yung relationship nila with these international franchises that they handle. So, I doubt na tatanggalin nila yung mga titles na ito at i-relegate lang as runners-up. So, magkakaroon siguro ng change in hierarchy, but I don't think na magkakaroon ng change in official titles. Ayun. Provinciano from the, Sir, may chance ba ang Pinas Miss International this year? Yes, I think so. I think malakas din naman ang laban ni Hana, because Hana, as I said, favorite siya ng MIO noong lumalaban siya for Binibining Pilipinas 2021. So, I think it was very smart of Binibini to crown a 25-year-old back then for Miss International na mangyayari a year after, simply because it allows Hannah, time to prepare her resume, to prepare her United Nations Sustainable Development Goals na project for the competition. Dorothy, despite of her age, Roberta made a very mature decision. She did the subsequent MGI candidates a big favor. I think so. I agree. Yung ginawa niyang pag-accept is not for her, but for yung mga candidates that will come in after her. Ayun. Yun nga lang, ang hindi lang maganda doon is yung optics na it looks very opportunistic yung pag-alok ng MGI sa kanya ng title. Parang alam naman natin, deserve ni Rowan mag-top 10 or even top 5 doon sa pageant ni Arnold. Pero hindi niya ibinigay yung spot na yun kay Rowan. Tapos ibibigay niya na parang pang papalubag loob. Parang hindi maganda tignan. But again, I understand where Rowan is probably coming from, na it was a tactical move for her. It was a strategic move for her to build relationships. So, ayun. Again, let's go back doon sa Miss Universe Extravaganza. So far, doon sa mga latecomers na ngayon lang dumating, what I have seen na confirmed na pupunta based on the IG of Anne Duprejutadep, nabanggit niya doon na darating si Harnaz, darating si Leila, darating si Andrea. So, that's Miss Universe 2011, Miss Universe 2020, and Miss Universe 2021. And I've been told by someone someone on the know that Catriona is now on her way to Thailand, and nandun siya bukas for the Miss Universe na extravaganza na event. So, that gets me excited. Okay? I think we've covered more than enough na topics for today's live stream. Again, I am really, really sorry for what happened earlier, na nagkaroon tayo ng issue sa internet connection, na naputol tayo dun sa first part ng live stream natin. But thank you for everyone na bumalik at nagkaroon ng patience to join us in our live stream na kasunod after that. I will try to keep this updates na weekly, 2 hours bago yung live ni Tita Lavinia, para hindi kami nagkaka-overlap. Para meron din kayong pupuntahan after you watch my live stream, and meron kayong hangout place before kayo manood ng live stream niya. So I'm hoping na next week masustain ko itong ganitong schedule. Okay? Unless na may event na mangyayari on the week or on the Sunday, then I will let you know. That's it for me, guys. I hope na nag-enjoy kayo dito sa live stream natin ngayon. I will try to make sure na next time hindi magkaroon ng internet issues. I will try to have a backup na internet na connection para hindi tayo magkaroon ng same issues as we did today. Okay, that's it from me. Thank you very much for everyone who joined, and I hope na you have a blessed Sunday and magising tayo ng maaga bukas for another week ahead. Okay, that's it from me, guys. Thank you and bye everyone. See you next video.